seemed to be this thing in my family, but I never thought it would affect me. I don't know why I didn't. I guess we all, had that mindset. And when I was told that I had cancer, the first thing I thought was, why me? I know that my walk is intentional, and I'm gonna tell you why. It started with my mom, and I call her my mom because she took care of me. My mom and my mom's sister switched roles. My aunt actually raised me. And I thought my world was turned upside down when I encouraged her to go and get a mammogram in October one year, only to have her live through November and Christmas, December, and the holidays, right? And by March, she was gone. She was diagnosed with stage 4, and it was very aggressive. Due to other complications, she did not make it. Didn't think that it would strike my family again in that capacity, but some years later, my aunt passed away, and then my dad actually got diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer. And so as my husband and I were caring for my dad in between chemo and radiation, and he really was a fighter, he was told that he wouldn't live past a week, and he lived almost a year afterwards. So nobody can't tell me what God can't do. Dad was diagnosed, he fought, and he went on to glory. Right before that, and I remember sitting, because Dad chose to be at home with hospice. And so my husband and I went there to be with him during those last moments. And I was planning an event. Didn't know why I was planning this event. Only knew that I woke up out of my sleep and God gave me pink on purpose. Had no idea what it was for. I thought it was in recognition possibly of my mom. I knew I wanted to bring business owners together to raise funds to help people who are going through chemo. I kind of thought about all of the things that we all needed, and all the services that would be able to support. But I had no idea how it would be organized. I had no idea what I was doing. Okay, all I knew is that I knew how to do events very well, but I didn't know what God had for me to do with this. Well, my dad overheard us, and right before he got to the stage that he could not speak anymore, this all happened in a matter of a few hours in a day. And he overheard me on the phone telling someone that I couldn't do the event. And his last words to me was, "Do it." Little did I know that in that first year, there would be a lady that I would meet who really needed those funds in order to make it through, because she had just lost her husband and her son that same year and did not know how she was going to pay her co-pays. She didn't know how she was going to pay her utility bill. She didn't know how she was going to do it, and she felt alone. And the funds that we were able to supply her was just enough to be able to take care of those things. That was my first, I call it wink. God winks at me. That was my first wink. And I was like, okay, that's why I'm supposed to do this. That wasn't it. 41 days later, and I say 41 because God led me to read something on Facebook, and it was this poem, and it was talking about how 41 is coming, how all the things that happen in 41 days in the Bible, and it encouraged me so much. And I was like, oh wow, this is beautiful. I copied and pasted it. I shared it with a few friends, but didn't know that in 41 days, that when I went in for my mammogram, that I would be diagnosed with cancer. Oh my God, this can't be real, right? Get scheduled for the ultrasound, right? They did that. Then got scheduled for the biopsy. And I'm so nervous, asking a million questions. And I'm on the table, and the needle is in my breast, and the machine stopped. I was terrified. I began to pray. I began to cry. And I began to think, why me? And it's like God spoke to me just as clear, why not you? So I want to encourage somebody that sometimes when things look bad, that it's really good. That God is working all things out for your good. And so he was working it out right then and there for me. When that machine stopped, I did not know that the biopsy, that was still a good biopsy because they continued, they started over, they did all the things right. They got the specimen that they needed, but it still came back with no cancer. Because here goes the doctor. They called me in and I was like, this is a good thing. I was so excited. And she stood there with her legs crossed and she said, Dr. really wants to take it out and send it to the lab. Wait, so I don't have cancer and you make me have a surgery. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Well, he has a feeling. They sent it to the lab and it came back in a late stage of 2. Do you not know that had that machine not stopped, I would have been living with cancer in me for an entire other year until I got the mammogram. So I encourage you that sometimes when things look rough, when it don't look promising, that God has the final say. He had the final say. Because at that point, I could go through the treatments, I could go through the necessary plan of care, and I could be standing right here, right now, on this day, to tell you that it wasn't an easy journey. It's still not an easy journey. I'm still going through 5 years of treatments, hormone replacement treatments. I can't get on my knees anymore, right? There's a lot of things that I'm challenged with. But I would not change this journey for anything because I've met some wonderful women along the way. I've gained some real great life lessons, and I look at life in a whole new value. And so I encourage you that whenever you feel like you have nowhere to turn, that you don't know what to do, that you don't have the support, that all you need is Jesus. Pray until something happens, because your 41 is coming.